Welcome. This is Chapter 3 from Architectural Drafting and Design textbook by Jeffers. I am your host, Professor Montoya, and I'll be going through the U.S. National CAD standards. Standards are used in drafting, and they allow us for consistent, streamlined communication. Standards reduce costs because they help us locate things and make sure that we don't duplicate something. It enables greater efficiency in transfer of team building design information from proposal to construction. The U.S. National CAD Standards is a group of agencies used to develop a single standard for the United States. Historically, they were independent documents, and they were not intended for specific CAD, but for the different kinds of softwares. So nowadays, AutoCAD, MicroStation, and Revit follow a similar format. With that comes abbreviations, different kinds of designations. The RVT means it's a Revit drawing. And you can see on the left bar, each code has a particular kind of professional drawing type. There's the architect's. A for architect is what you need to know, and we'll be following in this class for electrical engineer and E drawing, and we will also have a landscape drawing. But you can see there are some that I have never used, contractor, subcontractor. In the general, we are using G, so there are times when we do break out of the standards, but you always start with them. There's a uniform drawing system, and it was set up by the Construction Specifications Institute, which I'll talk about later, which really sets up a different catalog of all the materials. This system includes standards and guidelines, the UBS, for presenting architectural information, meaning that a symbol must reflect what we say it is across the board. It's based on flexibility, consistency, and linking. It provides a framework for facility modeling and drawing, store, and catalog information through the project cycle, all adopted by the U.S. National Standard. We'll concern ourselves on this particular part of the class on design activities. We want to know sketches, diagrams, schematics, working drawings, and perspective renderings all go into our construction document. Further, the uniform drawing system has drawing set organization, which ones go in what order, which sheets go in what order, where do the schedules fit, and we want to make sure that we're using all the same symbols that we use in other drawings. Model and sheet file naming standards. Standard file is based on the project code, the discipline, the model file type, and the user-definable code. So this is mostly pertains to how we're going to store them in the computer. And this is how they like to do it, project code. So that could be preliminary. It could be 2010, and it could be the model type, which is architecture, and then further designations, and finally ends in what. Now, we don't know what the codes are because that's going to be defined by the content owner. Detail file names, where the page is found in A02, and then you might see this now. You're going to see something called a reference bubble. And so on a drawing, if you have a drawing and you're referencing a little part that you're going to find it also on the floor plan, make a little designation where it's found, V3, and what page. We'll talk more about those later when we get into specifics. Model and sheet file naming standards. We want library files to contain information from more than one project because we're inserting many types of information into our product from many different contractors and vendors. So we need to have a system. Text files, notes that can be used on multiple projects. So you can reuse your notes, right? You reuse as many parts of a construction document from one project onto the next one, much as a template, so you don't have to rebuild everything. And to get back on track, we will organize construction drawings and construction documents into our project folders and subfolders. And they include drawing files, word processing, document, and spreadsheets. Now, the goal of this particular slideshow also is to let you know that I need you to make your files and start looking at your end product, which is the file you're going to send into Canvas. You need to give it the same attention as you did in creating the file, creating the drawing. So you need to take it and rename the file and give it this style is what I like. This allows for storage and organization of files. So you'll do the assignment number, which is I was given, and usually a short definition, cabinetry and stairs project, which I probably will tell you what it is. Then I need your first initial and your last name. And then Revit tacks on if it's a Revit file or if it is a PDF that will be tacked on. So what I need from you when you send in a file, I need the assignment name, space, what is the topic, space, first initial and last name, space, and what kind of file, so I know which type of software I'll use to open it. What does this mean? On my file system that allows for organization, because in Canvas, if I have 20 students sending in files, I need to know which student this is from. And sometimes I batch download these. This does not help me. If you send in a file that says kitchen section or just image number without any more information, it's gobbledygook. So I have to go and painfully search out which student is this. I will translate that, my pain, into your pain. So rather to avoid that, versus this nicely laid out, documented file management system, assignment number, short description, first initials, last name, Revit file. I like it within this amount of detail so it fits nicely into a Canvas slot, which only has a certain amount of letters in it. Thank you for paying attention to that. Sheet organization. The CAD standards improve the communication and quality control and make the data easier. Just as we saw in the title blocks, everything is kind of basically where it is, even though it could be artistically different. Well, here we need consistent sheet organization and appearance. The sheet sizes, borders, and title blocks. The sheet layout, like where you're putting these section cuts and where you're putting the details should all show up on the same page. Schedules should be grouped together to reveal their applications. Formats information in rows and columns, just like in Excel. You develop as computer-generated databases or spreadsheets, Excel. And it may have text or symbols and diagrams. And it should be in a uniform location among all the sheets that we're used to it, usually at the lower left-hand corner. Drafting convention simply means that we all agree that an interior door looks like this, or that this is more specifically, you'll see a wall with these staggered section lines. That means it's a cased opening or a walkthrough. These are always bifold doors when you see that. Even though they could be kitten ears, they are bifold doors. This is always a sliding door across all applications, and this is always what a pocket door will look like. So when they set up Revit, they made sure that that's the image that you get when you lay it down. Provides a standard format for graphic text. Consistent drawing placement. Further, each drawing have a title, and have the scale, and sometimes you'll have a graphic scale. This is helpful to a viewer who is not doesn't currently have the an architect scale with them, they can try to make the measurement off of this. So each drawing contains these elements. CAD graphics. Architecture drafting is a graphic language. It's made up of weights and lines, textiles, dimensioning, terms and abbreviation, notes on drawings, and architectural CAD symbols. Which one is most important? Answer, they're all important. CAD drawings are made up of layers. They're perfectly aligned with others, so 0, 0, 0 will align everything. Each contains independent information. They are reproduced individually or in combination. You can turn them on and off depending on what you want to show and feature. Where are things in the Revit program? They're contained in the project browser. So you can have, these are at least drawings, all drawings set up, and then we have your sheets. So Revit organizes things in the same logical manner. So you can find things. If you go to floor plan, you're going to find level 1, level 2, or site plan. And actually, this is a newer feature. It'll turn blue if that drawing is used on a sheet drawing down here. This is a very generic presentation, not specifically meant to be Revit, but this is how the layers theoretically set up when you start a drawing. You're just creating the walls, that's on its own layer. Windows and doors, although Revit hosts them, they can be separate as well. And then dimension layers can be separate, and altogether they are the unified drawing. CAD layer names, not too much pertaining to us, but standards. What's the discipline, architecture, and what's the group? And as we saw here, these are already kind of done for you once you start drawing in Revit. So we don't refer to these too much because they come with the drawing you start. Layers are organized by drawing type. And integrated, we have BIM in all of this, so it's an integrated workflow built on reliable product information. And this is what we share with others and have other contractors. BIM kind of takes away this long, so excessive location dimension, it's a short form, meaning everything is close to the thing it applies to. This is too much, too far for your mind to grasp. Where to place this, you'd rather do it off this closed wall. This concludes the end of PowerPoint 3, actually. Thank you for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video.